We have an episode where they parody Game of Thrones, we have Rick and Morty blown to bits, and we have a show that's 10 times more gruesome than the one we enjoy. Don't swipe or click away, because here are the Rick and Morty deleted scenes that would have changed everything. The reality where Hitler cures cancer. We all know how messed up Rick and Morty were after watching the 6th episode of Season 1. They were willing to kill off their main characters and have them replaced with clones from a different universe.
Alright, Morty, here we are.
Oh my god, Rick! Is that us? We're dead!
Now that's messed up on a multi-dimensional level. But what if we told you that this episode was supposed to be even worse? You might say it's not possible, but there was a draft where Rick and Morty not only died, but were blown to smithereens. In the final version, their bodies remain whole, but in this first draft, you can see that the creators hacked them to bits. And both Rick and Morty had to find the body parts of their alternate reality twins scattered across the bloody room. They then carried them to the 2 ditches and dumped them inside. While the dialogue remained the same, you can see that this episode was supposed to have a much more gruesome ending for the 2 characters. We wonder what made them change it. The Court of Giants. During the episode where Morty takes Rick on an adventure, for a change, we know that they got charged with murdering a giant.
I smell the blood of...
Holy crap!
Boy. He looks pretty bad down there, Morty.
Well, in the first draft, the courtroom scene didn't go quite like it did in the show. You see, in the show, Rick didn't have the portal gun, but in the first draft, they never took it away from him. Rick used the gun and tried to convince Morty to quit the adventure, but he never did. The lawyer representing them then handed the judge a way to smash that like button, just like you should do if you haven't done so already. But no, in all seriousness, he handed the judge a motion to dismiss, so Rick and Morty were free. We all know the quote-unquote angel lawyer that saved them, but in the first draft, this didn't exist. There were some racist jokes in the beginning, but let's not get into that now. We have the entire next segment for that. The witnesses. Before taking them to court, the scene where the giants question Rick and Morty was very different from the one in the final version. It looks like the creators used this as an opportunity to make a case against the racist treatment of people of color by police officers. In one example, while Rick and Morty were covered in dark ink, a police officer walks in and tries to shoot them, when a colleague stops him. Thankfully, it was just a water gun. Stealing his heart. This is only a secondary scene and one in which they showed Seely Alt stealing everything.
Hey, I'm Seely. Follow me on my adventure through this office.
And let's just say that the version which made it to the show was much milder when compared to the first draft. Well, instead of drugging the person Alt stole from, he ripped his heart out and tossed the man out the window. And instead of laying plastic cups on the table at his office, he laid the still beating heart of the man he just murdered. Now that's what you call a gruesome end. Speaking of which, the death of Jessica. Apparently, Rick watching the new episode of Family Matters is more important than saving the life of Jessica, who's just been struck by a car.
I'm trying to watch my TV show here. What are you talking about? Going to the hospital?
You gotta come with me, Rick, because Jessica got hit by a car.
And if there were ever a scene created that perfectly shows Rick's carelessness, this would be it. After some begging, Rick agrees to help Jessica. He shrinks Morty to the size of a red blood cell and shoots him inside her bloodstream. Using a headset to communicate, he tells Morty to swim upstream to the heart valve. And while Morty is battling dead bacteria inside Jessica's body, Rick just kicked his feet in the air and kept watching the rest of the episode. The Rocky Mountains. Do you remember the episode in which Morty goes on an adventure inside the amusement park of a homeless guy with tuberculosis?
A giant naked man over the continental United States. We now go to Tom Randolph in New York.
Well, while Rick was guiding them from the outside, we know that after the man passed away from TB, the crew had to escape using the special ship. However, to do this, Rick had to enlarge the man to the size of the USA, and this is where things begin to change. While the guys in New York and Los Angeles see eyes and feet respectively, the lumberjack in the Rocky Mountains got a surprise, a big one. In the final version, they only showed the shadow of the homeless man's giant you-know-what after making a joke about his large feet. However, in the first draft, the entire forest got plowed by a member that was bigger than anything the world has ever seen. No wonder the butch lumberjack was scared. The dinosaur. Now, we don't really know where this scene would have ended up, but it would have been nice to see it make it to the show. It begins with Rick finding an alternate dimension that has all the stuff he needs. The only way to go there is to get his portal gun to create a gateway and get him there. However, he first opens the gate to something completely unrelated, corn niblets and dead weathermen. And according to His Excellence Rick Sanchez, they are, and we quote, corn niblets and dead weathermen are the static, like the static on a TV set. Okay. And then it happens, out of nowhere, Morty creates a dinosaur just by moving a box. While he's losing his mind, Rick is yelling at him for no apparent reason, perfectly showcasing the relationship that these two have. Luckily, or somewhat unluckily, the dinosaur escaped through the window. While they're talking, the portal gun starts beeping. They have only 20 seconds to fix it, and by the frequency of the beeps, we don't think 20 seconds was enough time for them. Rick and Morty crosses Game of Thrones. What leaps to mind is doing another Citadel episode or some dimension where there are factions of people that plays homage to that Game of Thrones style in 22 minutes while getting laughs. This is what Dan Harmon said about the potential of creating an episode where Rick and Morty are flung into the medieval world of Game of Thrones. And even though the episode has not been made yet, the creators of the show didn't exclude the possibility of making one. That means in one of the upcoming seasons, we could be revisiting dragons, Danny and John, and more incest jokes that we could shake a stick at. To get there, they'll probably use Rick's portal gun, get into trouble, and then desecrate the Targaryen dynasty, who consider themselves unstoppable thanks to their dragons. The Freeze Ray. This was one of the heartwarming episodes in the entire show. The episode started with Jerry and Beth getting a divorce. Normally, this decision makes both of them depressed. While mindlessly pursuing through the infinite number of intergalactic channels, Rick happens to come across one where Jerry Smith is a world-renowned producer, actor, and director. In the other room, Beth is looking through an alternate reality headset where she finally graduates as a human surgeon instead of a horse surgeon.
You did it, Beth. You really nailed it. You're a surgeon. A human surgeon.
However, they're both still depressed. Jerry loses his mind and becomes part of a crazy police chase. However, there's only one thing on his mind: Beth. Jerry admits that he never stopped thinking about her, Beth admits the same, and the two kiss and fall in love all over again. In the real world, Jerry and Beth run to each other with tears in their eyes, having realized that they can't live without each other. And you'd think that's cute, but that was the version that made it to the show. The first version had Rick shoot Jerry with a freeze ray before knocking him on the ground and shattering him into a million pieces. Don't you dare show true love in front of Rick Sanchez. On a related note, which of these deleted scenes do you think should have been left in the show? You can tell us in the comment section below. If you'd like to see more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.